What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy NextGen720, and I am back with another video. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Even though I didn't make this great cup of coffee, guess what? It's still a great cup of coffee. Now, with that being said, there's a few things that I want to talk about in this said video. We remember the whole thing last holiday season with Tombraider, well, before the holiday season, with Square Enix coming out and saying that the game was slated to release on the PlayStation 4 a year later. Now, this is before the game even came out for the Xbox One. Microsoft did the deal with Square Enix. Whatever they paid, they had the game exclusively for their console for a year, or whatever the case may be. But Square Enix, I've never seen this done in business. Some things get leaked the following year, but Square Enix came out like 3-4 months in advance and saying that the game was slated to come out for the PlayStation 4. Now, Microsoft, the deal that they were doing, they were probably trying to angle this, the Tomb Raider, to sell more units. Oh, to as far as the Xbox and sell more consoles. You know what I mean? Don't be listening to that. People. I do believe that people are going to own both consoles this generation, just like last generation. It is what it is. But oh, fuck, throat it. But you know what I mean? So they were gonna do. They did the deal and advertise it only on Xbox, yada yada. So Square Enix, for whatever reason, like I said, it was a bunch of shit that happened with Square with $5. There's a bunch of shit that happened with Tomb Raider last year. But so anyway, so I do believe that kind of hurt the sales. That kind of hurt the sales of Tomb Raider on the Xbox One. It sold over 1 million, whatever it did. I don't know what it did, but it eventually ended up selling. A lot of people were saying they're going to wait and just buy it the following year. They're going to get the superior version, or the, how that should go, on the PlayStation 4 the following year. So the game released last month on the PlayStation 4, and it's rumored it's sold less than 120,000 copies on the PlayStation 4. Boom, 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 boom. Now, did Square Enix shoot themselves in their own foot with that one right there? So God don't like ugly, man. You know what I mean? What about those green discs? I ain't gonna start that shit again, but they were, I guess, maybe pandering again to the Sony fan base, up to appease them. Say, oh, it's coming out next year for you guys, but whatever Microsoft paid Square Enix or Crystal Dynamics to, I don't even think it was Crystal Dynamics. I think it was Square Enix that did that, the parent company. Crystal Dynamics the game, and Square Enix publishes. Same thing with EA and Respawn. I don't know if Square Enix owns Crystal Dynamics. I don't know, but same thing. Crystal Dynamics makes the game and Square Enix publishes it. Now, as I was saying, so a lot of people were saying within this community here. I'm not talking about the casual. They were just going to buy it on the PlayStation 4, and it was going to be, and it was 1080p on the Xbox One version also. The X12 and all this stuff that they use. A nice looking game. Is a great game, but if you don't have it, whatever console you own, my advice is you to go out and buy it. If you love Uncharted, you'll love Tomb Raider. You know what I mean, or whatever the goddamn case may be. But sales weren't so flattering, I guess. Less than 120,000 copies on what I'm hearing. Also, too, we're talking about NPDs and sales. The Xbox One kind of trounced, stomped out the PS4 last month by over 100,000, or close to 100,000. I think it was like 98,000, 96,000 units, whatever the case. Like, even though they don't make their numbers public, I know a few people, not saying personally, but that I've been doing this that are part of the NPD. It costs a lot of money to be a part of the NPD. You know what I mean? They get the numbers and stuff. But like I said, I got those figures last week, and I was told not to say nothing. They're talking about it already, so someone leaked, and the damn sure ain't come from me. So it is what it is. So congratulations to Microsoft. Also, too, what I kind of wanted to touch on here, and it's something that I've been saying since I've gotten the PlayStation 4. They have an article where I think is, if you guys haven't read the article, I'm gonna leave the link down below. You should read it, and that and this is something that I was saying. What I wish Sony just knock it off with the with the whole 4K thing. And the developer said the PS4 is a powerful device, but you shouldn't expect better graphics on top of 4K support, says developer. And again, I even mentioned it last week on BGST. If you guys can see BGST, watch it. Great show we had. And I said that, you got, regardless of the Scorpio, whatever it's going to be, we all know this is more powerful than the PS4 Pro. But also, not to saying that, the PS4 Pro was a slouch. I mean, it's 4.2 teraflop. That's that's a lot of juice under the hood. But the console resources are being wasted with all this 4K stuff. And I'm not just saying 4K because I don't have a 4K TV. No, what Sony needs to do, because, and again, the issue, this is the big pushback on the PS4 Pro. People are expecting a wow factor. A wow factor. If Sony just, the games are 1080p or 14 in front of you, just make them 1080p, 60, and let them upscale to 4K, but give us a higher graphic fidelity. That's all they have to do. The console's not strong enough to achieve 4K. I would rather, it makes no sense if you're going to give me 4K, but you're still using the same shitty textures. All that does is makes those textures that already was look kind of shitty, makes them look even more shitty. You understand? Does that make any sense to you? I tell you, I've been saying this shit for the last 3 years. Resolution does not determine better graphics. Prime example, Rise of the Rome was what, 900p. Whatever Spider-Man that came out this generation, like 3 years ago, that was 1080p 30 on both consoles. Which game looks better graphically, Rise or Spider-Man? I'm not talking about the new Spider-Man. I'm talking about the Spider-Man that came out in the early part of 2014, around the time of Titanfall. You understand where I'm going with this? The resolutions do not determine graphics. So, Sony, again, if you're listening, someone's watching, or you developers, whoever, just give us 1080p. A lot, 1080, if you can get 60 frames, fine, whatever. But give us higher graphic fidelity. Give us better graphics. You know what I mean? So he was saying that if you, listen, don't expect both. Because, again, I don't know if it's been the Sony fans or it's been Sony with this whole resolution, which is cool. Like I said, I'm not one of the ones that don't have a 4K TV. Every TV in my house is 4K. Plus, I live in a 4K embassy. This is KS9000 behind me. You know what I mean? I have a JS, that's on the floor there. I have a JS 9800 and the guy, in the fucking like JS95, the last year curved model. This year's KS, last year was JS. 65-inch on the front one against the wall. I have the KS 8500. I put that up on the mantle. I bought a new stand and shit. That I have this going down in the basement. Long story, but anyway. So I'm not saying that like I don't have a 4K television. No, I'm just saying that I would rather have better graphics. And I'm just being real. What maybe a 4K image native made me look a little sharper. Yeah, but would you rather have better graphics and upscale to 4K, or just say it's native 4K, but you got still same shitty jaggies and screen tearing and pop-ins and all that? Wow, give me better graphics, better textures. Give me 1080p ultra settings if you can, and let the shit upscale to 4K. That's all that you have to do, and I will be fine. I'll be happy than if I was about to say something. I can't even say it this time of day, but anyway. It was a saying that we used to say back in the day. I'm not even going to say it because it's I guess deemed to be racial, bias or whatever the hell. But obviously I was happy that with a bag of dicks in prison. You know what I mean? But anyway, it's an old school saying there from the streets. But anyway, as I was saying, I would rather have that and then to have, this whole upscale checkerboard. Fuck all that. You know what I mean? Just listen. It's because, like, again, that's the big public pushback. Because when you look at the specs, we talk about something that we went from 1.8 to 4.2. So you were looking for that old shit, ooh, but you don't really get that. You know what I mean? Especially the game doesn't have any HDR and all that stuff. It's not, you don't really get it. You know what I mean? So, honestly, unless they change this whole thing, if you have a PS4. You know what I mean? Whatever you have a PS4, right now, and I'm not even saying this to hate, and I would say the same thing about the Xbox Scorpio. There's no need for me to upgrade. I can just keep my Xbox One S if you're just going to say, Oh, it's native 4K, but the games look the same. My Xbox One S already upscaled. I'm not going to spend $500-600 or whatever the Scorpion's on the call. Just say the image is native 4K and to upscale 4K. It's not a big deal to me. Like I told you before, resolution is not a big deal. That I will play on PC. Graphics I love. I'm a graphics whore, so like I said, it is what it is, man. But this is your boy Next Gen 720. Look out for Xbox Beast Fire later on, and I'm out of here, man. Bang. Shot this video on my computer. I haven't done a video up here before, but it is what it is. Bang.